Australia's leading alternative telco.
Doug Reed is with us in the studio. He's the Chief Executive of Vox Telecom. Interesting company. We'll talk about your numbers in a moment. But you heard in the headlines there, Marcel was, pointing to yet another cable that's landed in South Africa. It looks like we're going to be bandwidth city pretty soon. We had no bandwidth just a few years ago, and now cables are landing at a rate of knots.
Yes, that's right, Alex. The only problem is we've now got to get it to the last mile. Once we get that right, and then we'll all be smiling.
What does that mean?
Get it to the houses and the offices themselves. That's still a bottleneck and expensive.
What about a company like yours? Can you not lay fiber optic cable in the last mile, or is it just too expensive?
It's too expensive. It's infrastructure. We do a little bit. Some of our main lines, for example, from Rosebank to Joburg, Pretoria, we have our own fiber, but it's for the very main lines and the trunking.
You'll have to then rely on Telkom's copper wire, which sometimes gets stolen. So I suppose there's a difficulty there too.
That's a problem, but I think it's coming to come. A lot of providers now, Neotel obviously, and DFA is providing a variety of suppliers. So, and Telkom's improving. You know, the Metro Ethernet has been laid now, and it's all coming right.
Doug, I download, being in the rural areas, movies off Apple iTunes. They take a long time to do. When you are traveling internationally, what would happen in 5 minutes probably takes a couple of hours here in South Africa. Do you think we'll get to that stage anytime soon?
Not soon. Unfortunately, that side of it is going to be the last to upgrade. Telkom are going to replace that copper with fiber, but I would guess that's a 5 to 10 year program.
So it's still not quite there.
Not yet,
as far as the bandwidth world is concerned.
No, we follow the world, unfortunately.
So why are we landing all these cables then?
Well, internationally it's come down. I mean, it's much cheaper already to send it to London than it is to Cape Town, so that's a good thing. And look, the bandwidth will increase exponentially. 64% of the bandwidth by 2012 will be in video clips. So, that's massive.
All right, on to your financial results. And Vox's big challenge is that you have to convert old businesses, internet dial-ups and what you call least call routing. That's where you automatically find the cheapest way to phone cell phones when we go through our exchanges. Convert the people who are in those businesses into being longer-term clients on new technologies, which often are cheaper.
Yes, look, there is a silver lining there, Alec, because, they're very cash generative, the dial-ups and the LCR businesses. So at least while we develop the telco business, we're not having massive losses and massive opportunity costs, which are some of our competitors are suffering.
Why are people not converting quicker?
They are. Well, we're doing it as quick as we can, technically.
But why are they not?
They are.
If you're sitting on a dial-up, you can, it's so much better to go to an ADSL line now.
Believe it or not, a lot of dial-ups are the only thing available in those different areas. And we've actually coming out with new products now that will almost make it a no-brainer to convert. Price is probably the biggest issue.
Your financial numbers for this period to the end of February were a little down on the 6 months of the year before, but you're sitting on enough cash, although your cash pile has dropped a little bit in the last 6 months. Where to from here, Doug? What is going to be the spark that's going to take Vox to the next level?
Alec, we've got to finish this conversion, which will take probably another year, and before we start growing. The telco component of the business is much more exciting. Chances are making better GPs, gross profits, and also providing more services to the same customer base. So it's far better business to be in, but we've got to convert, as I say, these old style businesses to the new telco services.
In the last week, I've spoken with two retailers, Nick Badminton from Pick n Pay and David Neal from Clicks, and both of them were complaining about how difficult it is to run a business when they have their input costs, in their case the food costs or other costs, which are actually growing at well below inflation. In Pick n Pay's case, I think it was a 2% increase, and in fact, in Clicks' case, some parts of their business you have a 10% depreciation. That's nothing compared with you guys. You got to live with a 40% depreciation in the cost of your voice and data, and nearly 30% in voice. How do you manage a business like that when your other costs, your staff costs, electricity and so on, are clearly growing much faster?
There's almost a set of rules with the deflationary business that you get with is opposite to inflationary businesses. So, for example, you'll delay some of the cost, you'll pass down some of the cost reductions later than you need to. So there's a lot of different ways of doing things. And it also helps you, you also have to try and maintain margins, so absolute margins. So, for example, if you were making 21 cents a minute and the price halves, you still got to try and make 21 cents a minute. So that's really where we're focusing on at the moment, is to maintain those margins.
So how do you do that?
That's the proof's in the pudding right now. For example, our input costs on the interconnect base from March the 1st has dropped, I think, about 18-20%. Telkom still haven't reduced their prices, and they will probably not reduce them 18 to 20%. They'll probably reduce them about 8%. Or
so why the big fuss from government to try and squeeze Telkom to do this?
It's just to get the wholesale price down, because that is what keeps the whole value chain up. So by natural attrition and free enterprise, prices will come down.
And the Competition Commission at some point in time, I'm sure. Just to close off with, Doug, your good friend Tony van Marken has stepped down as chairman. He's been with you for a while. What's the story there? Why is he no longer going to be rowing this uphill struggle that you seem to have still at the moment?
No, Tony, there's nothing sinister. I mean, it's really is personal reasons. I was chatting to him this morning, and he was gloating about the weather in the Cape and cycling his bicycle. So for this year, he's taken off, and he's going to do his main love, which is obviously climbing mountains, and just done the Cape Epic, for example.
And from your side, you're going to be having to try and at least hold on to the financial results that you posted last year in the full 12 months.
Yes, it will be flat probably for the next 12 months, and then after that, I think we'll get back to our growth ways.
Doug Reid, Chief Executive and Founder of Vox Telecom.
This Technology, Media and Telecommunications report was brought to you by Vox Telecom, South Africa's leading alternative telco.
The Vox Superphone and your ADSL line go together like rugby and biltong, but you're allowed to chew the fat. Now you can use your ADSL for more than just surfing. With the Superphone, you can call any phone, anywhere using your ADSL line. You save money, earn rebates, and box-to-box calls are free. No contracts, just plug and play. Your ADSL and the Vox Superphone. It's the perfect combination. Make the most of your ADSL. Visit voxsuperphone.co.za.
Discovery Invest gives you a